Hey, my name is Frank Leo, and I am going to explain the judicial system I developed for Political Science 365. Um, Basically, for my system, I didn't really build it from the ground up. I basically reworked the federal judicial system that we already had, but changed it in major ways in order to address some of the issues that America and the system has, both political and sociological ones. Um, First of all, for the selection and tenure of the judges, I still made it so the president can select judicial nominees, but when it comes to the Senate confirming them, I changed that majorly because first of all, the voting threshold for both Supreme Court and lower court nominees would be raised up back to 60, since it's been at 51 for both for a while now. And also, I would make it so each party would have to give 30 of its own votes. So the votes would have to be bipartisan in order for a nominee to be confirmed, which would hopefully promote bipartisanship among the parties. Um, for the for Also, for the tenure of the justices, term limits would most likely be implemented, um, probably around 18 years each for a term, and I hope doing this would make the confirmation process a lot more political. Um, as for the number of courts, the the Supreme Court and the appellate courts would remain the same number, 1 and 13 respectively, but the 94 district courts would actually be doubled in my system, to from 94 to 188. And I'm doing this mainly to deal with a lot of the backlog that occurs in the district court level, particularly in regards to civil cases. And I feel doubling district courts will make the judicial process much more free flowing. In regards to the division of labor regarding the courts, in order to basically make sure no backlog occurs after that, since more civil suits may be filed in response to the doubling of the courts, I would also give the appellate courts limited original jurisdiction, which allows them to take up a limited amount of cases, but only if the district courts are unable to hear them at the time. And they would only be able to take up a limited amount, probably around 100 or so. And this is just to ensure that no backlog occurs at all in this new system. And finally, is the process for litigants at the trial court level. The process for civil cases would pretty much remain the same, but since the process for criminal cases is a lot more complex, that would be changed in a lot of ways. First of all, bail would not be allowed unless the judge or a magistrate decides that the person could be a danger to society. And I'm deciding against bail most of the time because it can be too expensive for some, and it can discriminate against minority races. Also, when it comes to preliminary hearings, grand juries would not be allowed to decide whether there was probable cause for a case to go to a formal trial. That would be up for a judge to decide. I am mainly doing this because there have been recent controversies over grand juries not charging police officers for shooting people of color, such as Michael Brown and Ferguson. And also, this wouldn't be a hard change to make since there's a lot of states that don't use grand juries, instead have preliminary hearings headed by a judge, which is what I'm advocating for my system. And that is basically it for the system I have developed based a lot on our current system, but I feel the changes I have made address a lot of the issues America and our system has as a whole. Send me your peer reviews once you watch my video, and I wish you a good rest of your day.